Hi YouTube! I'm here to do a video review for Thicker Than Water Season 3, Episode 3. Now, this is starring the Tankards. This week's episode is titled Hard Knock Life. Now, let me begin. Before I say anything, I want to say that kudos to the Tankard family. With that being said, they dug into so many deep issues this week. It was just like, wow. Okay, so Jewel Tankard, so Mama Tankard, she decided that she thought it'd be a great idea to take her kids back to where she was born, so perhaps they could understand, why she acts the way she acts, or maybe they could kind of relate to her in some sense. So she is from the Detroit, and her sister Junetta thought it would be a great idea to take the girls down there for the weekend. Plus, Jewel has a talk show and she will be hosting it there. Great. Okay, so I'm a little put off because most of them are excited to go, the girls. The only girl that's not going is Tish because she just had a baby not too long ago. And it seems like she has like attachment issues with the baby right now, which is completely understandable for a first time mom. With that being said, the rest of them go. The only one that's not that excited would be Cyrene. Now, I'm going to get back to this dynamic between Cyrene and her mother, Jewel. Jewel has another sister. I believe her name is Janice. She hasn't been on this season at all, which I'm a little thrown off by because she was on the first two seasons. However, they did not seem to get along much. Whenever she was on an episode. So maybe she's not going to be on this season. I'm not sure, but if it works better for their sister relationship, then great. Okay, with that being said, Jewel is waiting for them to get there because Brooklyn is going to be a special guest on her show. So I thought that was really great. Her mother has a platform, and for her to allow her to tell her story and help others, I thought that was great. Okay, so now moving on. This entire trip, Cyrene has chosen to ride with her aunt Junetta, or converse with the other girls rather than her mother. And even the other sisters notice that there's some type of, like, she has some type of attitude or something with her mom. I completely don't understand it. The only thing I can chalk it up to is that she's 19 and she's trying to find herself. Maybe she got tired of her mother telling her what to do, even though it was for her own good. That is the phase that she's going through. But we all went through that. I went through that. And they will get past it. Whatever the case, I was really happy when Jewel and Junetta took them, down memory lane. And their parents used to own a record shop. And it was right after the civil rights movement. And business was just booming. Then it was very sad because they basically lost everything. Watched the people walk out with their things because they were being repossessed. Everything just dwindled down to nothing. And that was at the point where the sisters had to step up. So Jewel, being the oldest sister, she stepped up to get a job, although her father didn't want her to, but she said, hey, we have to make ends meet. So I was really happy to hear that, because the fact that she lost everything and she was still able to be like, hey, I need to put my big girl panties on and get out here and make it happen for my family and my sisters. And for that reason, I wouldn't feel indebted to her for the rest of my life, but I would have another level of respect for her being, you're just my sister, you're not my mother, and you went out and did that. And I commend her. Jewel had expressed that once her family went through hard times, that her and her sister, they dated drug dealers. Like Jewel, she did her own thing as far as making money, but they also dated drug dealers because it was normal in Detroit, because that's how they got their bills paid. If they needed $2,000 or something, they were going to tell their drug dealer boyfriend, and just to stroke his own ego, he was going to make sure that they got that money. And it wasn't a good thing, because they're saying, hey, I learned from my experiences. I realized I could have gone to jail just for being associated with this person. Jewel even expressed that she went to jail before. The kids didn't know that. That makes them see a different side of their mother. I think that these experiences that she's like taking them through, walking them through, talking to them about at their age, they can handle it. And I think that it's great because they can relate to her on another level, being that she's smoked, she's done drugs, she's partied, she's kicked it, she's had bad boyfriends, she's had bad breakups, she went through a divorce, she was a single mother, all of these things. So she knows exactly what she's talking about. The person she is now isn't what she's always been, but the person she is now, that person is very knowledgeable in the things that they are currently going through. And so I think that, this entire episode was really just great. So moving on. So we also learn about the church where Jewel and Ben met. And at this point in the episode, Britney was getting extremely emotional, as well as Brooklyn, because their relationship with their father it's a little, you can tell that it's a little shaky at times, and it actually kind of seems like they're more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're more appreciative of their stepmother, because things changed when their stepmother came into their father's life. Their father wasn't in their life prior to that, and that absence was really affecting them emotionally. With that being said, I believe in any situation, if you're going to come into somebody's life, and especially if you want a permanent position in their life, you should be one to add to their life, to make them better in some type of way, to be an asset and not a liability. So being that the first thing he said to her when he met her was, God told me that you're my wife. That says a lot, because God clearly brought her into his life for a reason, because it affected the lives of his children as well. Any woman that's going to be with a man and you know that he has 4 other children and he has nothing to do with them, and he's not like sending them money or whatever the case, and he's not trying to see them or be a part of their life, and she's okay with that, especially as long as he's taking care of her kid, that says a lot about you and your character. And if you run into a woman like that, you need to run the other way. So I think that it's absolutely great that, okay, he had kids. There's no rule book for parenting. Clearly, he should have been more present in their lives. But their life isn't over. So the fact that this woman came into his life and said, I want to make you better. I want to make us better. I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to change you. But if you're going to be with me, you're going to do this, and we're going to do this for the kids. I think that is absolutely awesome. At the same time, Cyrene is not understanding these emotions, because she said, well, my mama didn't come in here and swoop me up and save me. Yes, but you should be happy that your mom didn't put you in a situation where you had to be swooped up and saved. She was a single mother at one point, and yet and still, you still had everything you needed. Like, I mean, you've lived a very great and privileged life. And I think that she loves her. But once again, there's that like mother-daughter dynamic where you're not getting along at the time, but it will get better. But hopefully the more she matures and she realizes how fortunate she is, she can look back on these things as therapy and see that, that really wasn't a good look. I should be more appreciative of my mother. But whatever the case, all the guys were back at home with Tish, taking care of baby Micah. It was just so sweet. And it just seems like there's a lot that is supposed to be coming up in future episodes as far as the sibling rivalry. So we'll see how all of that plays out. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check me out at mrsblogaholic.com. Bye.